Let's get into it. Sold Not For Sale podcast. Coach Colin here. We got Billy Corgan on the podcast in a weird situation where him and Bill Burr are brothers. Now, I'm not going to say allegedly because there's no contesting it, in my opinion. Okay? So let's just get right into the Joe Rogan clip where they talk about this whole thing. And then I'm going to bring it over to Howie Mandel's show, where Howie actually sets up this bizarre meeting between the two of them. And the things that they tell each other about their father is just so wild. The whole thing is so wild. Let's just get right into it.
Pleasure. How many times a day do you get bombarded by the whole Bill Burr thing?
When it gets into the family and people I haven't talked to for 20 years.
Then you have to break character and tell the truth?
No, the thing is, this is what's crazy. Okay. You want the whole setup story?
Sure.
I could be quick
Sure.
So where I take my podcast is in one of Howie Mandel's buildings, and he has another building in this area. So I was working on something, and I was supposed to go on Howie's show that day. And they said, Howie will meet you out in the street or something for whatever reason. So I go out in the street, and the first thing Howie says to me when he sees me, he goes, "Here comes Bill Burr." And I go, "You too? Like, do you know this story?" And he said, "No, I don't know about it." And I said, "You know what? Heck with it. I'm just going to tell it on your show, so don't ask me anymore." And I went on the show, and I told the story about how 10 years ago my stepmother came to me and said, "Do you know who Bill Burr is?" I'd never heard of Bill, didn't know who he was, because I don't really consume much popular culture. I had no idea he was a famous comedian. He could have been the lawnmower guy. Looked up Bill. First thing I saw was like, oh my God, he looks just like Daddy. When I was 18 years old at an IHOP, on my 18th birthday, my father told me, "You have a half-brother that I sired at the same time as you, whose name is Bill." So suddenly these facts come together. My mother telling me these stories. I talked to my dad subsequently about it, and he was very cagey about it. And when I said, "Why won't you tell me where this person is or who this person is?" he said, "I'm trying to protect you." So when my stepmother had told me, it kind of made sense. Like, well, if my half-brother is this super famous comedian, my dad, in a way, wouldn't want me to know because he wouldn't want me to feel like I was number two because Bill's so famous. I know it sounds crazy, right?
You think that's why he was trying to protect you?
Well, I don't know. So fast forward to Howie saying something on the street. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to say something. And I swear to God, hand on my heart, last time I was with you in California, I almost pulled you aside after we were on, and I was going to tell you the story because I knew you knew Bill, and I was going to back channel see if there was anything to the story from Bill's side.
Wow.
So imagine 6 or 7 years since we talked on your show.
Yeah, I don't even know.
2018, somebody said to me today. But so anyway, sorry to talk over you. But the point is, so here I am, fast forward, I'm just sick of seeing memes of my face with Bill's, and so I just decide on a spur of the moment, So Howie, of course, loves it. But I said on Howie's show that first time, I don't think Bill's my half-brother. I don't think there's anything there other than an uncanny resemblance. Fast forward, the thing comes out, it gets a little bit of social media, and then it goes away. And I think, good. And Bill didn't say anything, so I figured Bill was kind of like, whatever. It was a mild amusement. He could have made a joke out of the whole thing, and he didn't. So then Howie calls me, and I'm in LA working recently, and Howie's like, "We've come on the show, Bill's going to be on." And I said, "Is Bill cool with it?" "Oh, yeah, no problem." So then I go there, and it's like, it turns into this thing that you see happening on camera. It's like, it's weirdness times, it's like a skit, but it's real. And Bill's on me, then Bill's on Howie, and it gets just okay. So I just told you basically everything I know. Okay, I have people I've known for 20, 30 years coming up to me going, "What do you think?" And I said, I don't think we're related. I mean, yeah, there's a resemblance, but I don't think we're related. "Well, did you get a DNA test?" And I'm like, "No, I don't. There's nothing to get a DNA test for." "Well, I think he's your brother." So people that know me, and I'm telling them I don't think he's my brother, now they want a DNA test to prove it. That's how much it's taken on a life of its own.
Do you think it's just because they want a DNA test because it's fun if he's your brother?
No. They're convinced.
For real?
Yes.
Really?
For real. I swear to God. I mean, people I'm close to, people that were at my wedding, they're like, "No, you need a DNA test."
Did Bill's dad know, did your dad know Bill's mom?
No, my father wouldn't talk to me about it at all. Okay, some more context.
Okay.
My stepmother in that same time, 10 years ago, when she told me that she thought Bill Burr was my half-brother.
Jesus.
This guy I don't know, right? I mean, just imagine if I say, "Hey, do you know Joe Polanski?"
Right.
And you look up and it's a famous comedian. That's,
Right.
So in that same thing with my stepmother, she told me that she thought my father had sired 12 children.
Whoa. All over the place.
All over the place. He was a traveling musician and a whore to his own admittance. So it kind of makes sense. He once told me he'd slept with 1,000 women. So
Jesus.
12 out of 1,000, you know what I mean? It's
Normal odds.
the math. Is
Actually pretty good.
Yeah. And so when I went to my father and I told him what my stepmother had said, he got really cagey and wouldn't tell me anything. He promised me that he would write down the names of the illegitimate children on a piece of paper so I could find them after he died.
Oh my
and
God.
he's died and there's no paper.
Oh my God.
So now I got people wanting DNA tests because they're convinced that Bill is my half brother.
Is Bill willing to do a DNA test?
I think that's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
No, you have to do it.
no, that's what I'm saying. I mean, first of all, to Bill's credit, he's been everything you saw on camera was his general irritation on the thing, but he also kind of finds it funny because he's a comedian.
I thought it was a skit. I thought you guys put together a skit. I really did. I thought, Bill does a lot of acting. I thought you guys were just fucking around. You like pro wrestling. I thought you guys just decided to troll the world.
Let me put it to you this way. Have you ever seen it, and I'm assuming, but you tell me if I'm wrong, two guys get in a ring to roll around a bit. Right?
Okay.
They're bros. They're going to roll around a bit.
Uh-huh.
Emotions kick in, and next thing you know, somebody's tapping somebody out.
Right.
Do you ever see that happen?
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in the heat of that moment with Bill and Howie egging it on, like the emotionality of the thing came out because it's a sort of it's sort of a weird thing where we're suddenly in the middle of a situation. It's like a meta situation.
Right.
So yes, on some level we were playing along. But then it starts to become like, wait, this is kind of weird. And then it starts to kick in. And then Billy Bush is in there. And it took on a life of its own. So what I'm saying is there's enough there that people are all over me to come up with more answers. But you see what I'm saying?
I do
It's like
see.
it's spun out of control into its own thing. Now it's a DNA test problem.
Oh,
which is a bit on its own. Like, we're going to do like a live stream. We'll do it here. Me, you, and Bill. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, people would trust you if the two of you got together and just both took a DNA test and found out you were brothers.
I don't think Bill's my half brother, but he looks.
Well, listen, there's a simple way to find out. I'll finance it. How much is a DNA test? How much does a DNA test cost to find out if someone's your sibling, Jamie? Let's find out. It can't be that much money. It's 2025. I'll do it.
We'll get it sponsored.
Yes, maybe 23andMe. But didn't they sell out to somebody? Somebody buy them? $200.
There you go.
I'll pay $200 to find out. Why would you want to know? If I thought somebody was my half brother, I'd be like, for real?
I don't think it's
If
necessary.
I found out Sebastian Maniscalco was my half brother, I'd be like, I could kind of see that. Maybe.
Again, all I know is I don't think, but when I look at him, he looks just like my father.
Right.
He doesn't look. We look similar-ish, but when I look at him, he's got the same thing as my dad had. I don't know how to. You would know if somebody looked like your dad.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's where it's freaky for me.
Yeah.
And if you want to play the game one step further, you've got two world-class communicators. People might argue against me calling myself a world-class communicator, but I've been doing it for over 30 years.
You're a world-class.
God bless. So it's not too crazy that you'd have one guy go this way and one guy, you know what I mean?
Not at all. No. Especially when you consider how many different ways you've gone. Like not just Smashing Pumpkins, but pro wrestling. It's like
and now I'm entering your game, which is podcasting.
This episode is brought to you.
And if you know about Bill Burr is a drummer. So Bill Burr actually has musical talent as well, which is very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. I love this. Let's get to the clip of them meeting. Oh, so awkward. And just let me jump over here. You're brothers. Hey, man. Hey, it's okay. You're obviously brothers. Cool. This guy loses weight. He looks just like Bill. He already looks, the nose, right? I mean, there's just too many. They look like, this guy looks like the older brother. Bill looks like the younger brother. That's what's going on here, obviously. But check out this very odd, tense moment between the two of them. Bill does not like this. I love Bill Burr's podcast. I've been listening to it for a long time. I can tell Bill does not like this. Also, funny enough, Joe Rogan says, I'd want to know if I had a half brother, but he has a half sister that he's never communicated with. So, I'm just saying he could if he wanted to.
Sit down.
You're an
Billy Corgan. I'm an asshole.
Yeah,
I thought this would be great to bring a family together.
He didn't tell you. He told me you were totally cool with me coming.
That's what he does. That's what he does.
I thought it would be
so
a
then,
good surprise.
Can this be edited out, or no?
I can go. I mean, You told me Bill was.
All right, it. No, I'll do it. Like, did you ever think the fact that I never told that story, that, maybe you shouldn't? Did you ever, how many fucking, like, emails and crap that I got? Like, I sort of, like, went away from that.
So let me just fill in. Let me just fill in.
Do we talk on a regular basis?
We've never met.
So Billy Corgan was nice enough on my podcast to talk about the fact that he told a story that he had never told before, that his father traveled.
My stepmother said to me, do you know who Bill Burr is? Bill Burr might be one of the children that your father sired in his days on being a traveling musician.
If you do the math.
He was a piece of shit. And he had two kids this close together, and he named them the same name. He thinks it's different because he's Billy and I'm Bill. Like, that's how he told the difference.
Well, I was Bill when I was young. But you're right. I mean, with all respect.
I just thought.
All right. Well, whatever. It's not that I don't like him. It reminds me of all of that shit. So, it's like,
it just seems more of the same from what I've been hearing.
All right, whatever. I mean, I like your music.
Appreciate that.
Okay, great.
Would you? Oh, you know what'd be cool if you let your brother play drums.
Well, the fact that he said he can't sing, I think that sort of disproves that we're related.
Come on.
Because I'm not funny, right? You know what I mean? So it goes both ways.
Listen, you've done well for yourself. I'm happy for you. But I just would prefer if you just kind of didn't around. No, not telling these stories. Like, why did you feel the need to do that?
Okay, can I give you the setup on all this? Because it's his fault.
You can do whatever you want because you kind of already did that.
Okay, I'm trying to be respectful.
Now you are.
Okay, no, wait. He told me you were cool with me.
You're a Cubs fan? That tracks.
Theo Epstein.
Wrigleyville. Bunch of Cubs. Southside's where it's at. What's up?
Do you want me to tell the story?
Yes.
Okay. So, he owns about 80 buildings in this area. I don't know if you know how rich he is. But anyway, so I was working in another building and I came out the building, and the first thing he said to me was, "Here comes Bill Burr." And I said, "Do you know that story somehow?" And he said, "What story?" So I told him privately that story. Mm-hmm. He said, "Oh, you got to say this on the air."
Yeah, but he always does that. Because that's the thing. He's bringing in here not because he's trying to heal the bullshit that we went through growing up. He's getting here just for the ratings. I mean, the guy literally accepted a award in the middle of a podcast. I'm supposed to be promoting my special, and he's over here like...
You can do it. March 14th on Hulu.
Like, that's going to help now?
I still love you, though. Even though you did
But
this.
it's not about
Okay,
me.
so now what was supposed to happen? Are we going to go play catch? We're both in our 50s.
My arm is still good. I got to say.
Do you like wrestling?
Like what kind of wrestling? the real shit or like the WWE? The WWE, I love that.
Okay, I own the NWA, which is the oldest wrestling organization in the world.
All right, I respect that.
He won't come to a show, but at least you would.
Would you go to one of his events?
To what? An NWA
event? Yes.
It's wrestling.
Oh, wrestling. Yeah.
He's busy.
I don't know.
He's busy. He's busier than God, this guy.
No.
I can't even believe you got him in here. To set this up.
Do you want to?
You set us both up.
I know. Does YouTube give you fucking awards for
setups
healing fathers who secretly have two families?
This is some Dr. Phil shit you got going on here.
Yeah, thank you.
I think that you guys should take a moment.
I think we're on the same page, thinking that you're kind of a dick right now.
I think you're a dick too.
What did you have to do with this?
Yeah, you didn't know he was going to do this, right?
Mm-mm.
Whatever. But I don't have any, at some point we will hang out. I don't think on a podcast to try to
This is where it starts.
Oh, you
Sonny,
smoke
play
too, huh?
something.
No, it's just I don't want to talk about it because he's a germaphobe. But
Wait, you're sick?
I've gotten over being sick. Stop. This is just the remnants of a lifetime of screaming.
Yeah, that's what we have in common.
I thought this would go someplace. I thought this would go like...
I mean, if you'd see the barrage of texts I got this morning, you got to come in. Bill will love it. He's cool with it and the whole thing.
All right, so then I'm not upset with you then because I thought that this was like your idea.
No,
All
he
right.
he totally set me up.
I'm sorry. I just thought it was more important to bring
You
family
know, you walk
together.
through the door. How's your wife? My wife's pregnant. How's your wife?
Yeah, he's
How
having
are
a
the
baby.
kids?
You have your family's
some
growing.
free
Bill.
underwear,
She's
you know?
she's late.
That's funny.
Third semester.
That's fun.
Trimester.
Third semester.
He doesn't even give a shit. This is the thing that throughout my career, the amount of people like that have done this to me, and then you know what's funny? This is gonna probably maybe make us better or maybe f us up, but like I can guarantee you, about 20 minutes after we walk out of here, he's not gonna remember.
Remember what? Trimester.
He's gonna be standing there gazing with his arms behind his back, you know, looking at his YouTube plaque.
His kingdom.
Man, I don't care what anybody says. This guy and this guy are related. There's no way they're not. There's actually a longer clip too. Let me jump on YouTube and see if I can find the other part of the clip. Get these brothers off the screen for a second. Here, let me see if this
Ship with Dad.
It was
There
difficult.
is.
It was difficult.
What did he tell you he did for a living?
I was a musician, traveling, you know, kind of club musician. Never got above the clubs.
Well, he played piano, saxophone.
No, just guitar.
Well, in my house.
Oh, sorry.
Are you serious?
Oh,
He told me he couldn't play guitar because his fingers were too fat. All right. Well, yeah, it was weird, but you know what's funny though is if we were born during the internet, like he wouldn't. I don't feel like you can get away with that anymore. Like at some point, it did become funny to me that he had multiple families. There was something like wild about that, having to just trying to sustain one family. I'm kind of forgetting we're on a podcast right now. Trying to just sustain one family to actually. I mean, he must have been going, I got a gig on the road, but he's coming home with no f***ing money because he's got to go out. Hey, well, at least we broke that cycle, huh?
here we are.
Here we are. And at least we're not like on some f***ing awful network show judging plate spinners or whatever the fuck Howie's career has become.
He's done well, though.
No, you can tell he's self-conscious because he pulled out an award right in the middle
I
of this.
saw that.
It kind of looked like he made it too. All right, like I don't know what else. You know what I do relate to you is you do seem shut down emotionally,
What's all within?
which
you
is a
know?
huge relief. So you chose music and I went comedy.
Yeah, I think it's worked out better for you than for me.
I don't think so
You don't
because
think so?
I thought your music like you helped people, where I sort of pointed the finger for quite some time.
Yes.
Oh, whatever.
So they have this whole thing, man. You know, in actuality, it's kind of sad. If they don't connect on a deeper level, it's kind of sad. Like, I have a brother through my dad and a couple of sisters too. The sisters I don't communicate with too much. One of them I do. One of them pretty much never. I mean, once when I was a kid, once when my dad passed away, funeral, things like that. But the brother, like we connect, we talk. You know, that's the brother who says that Jesse on Fire is his favorite YouTuber, and he says it with no shame, no guilt. He's just like, that's who it is. You know, he knows I have 2 channels. It's fine. But but yeah, man. And the reason I find it sad is because I have one sister. My dad was a little bit like these guys' dads. Apparently, he had 2 kids, an older one and a younger one. I'm supposed to be the youngest. This one's younger than me. And that one, her mom told her that her dad died a long time ago. So she's like, I want no connection with anybody. Everybody leave her alone. So we never even get to see her. Never even seen her face or anything. So it does suck if you don't get to connect the way that family should, you know? Like, I hope they actually do. Like, get the DNA test. Why not? It's pretty clear. It's pretty clear that they're related. I mean, they both had dads who admittedly had other families. That would be enough. But then this guy says that he looks just like his dad. They're both named Bill. And you know why he did that? He was a wild man. He's like, name the boys Bill, name the girls Billerina. Because it's easier to remember. You don't go from house to house having to remember all these categories of names. It's just Bill. Hey, Bill. No matter where you're going, it's just Bill. You know, I get it. It's smart. It's actually smart. Very, very smart. You know? Can you imagine? And they're both famous? This guy, their dad has the potion. You know? Both are famous? Come on. Famous comedian? Famous musician? Come on. Are you kidding me? Smashing Pumpkins? That's going down in history, that band. Bill Burr? Arguably top 5 comedian ever. Arguably. I know he's done some woke nonsense recently. I know. But still, Bill Burr's up there. This guy's dad has the potion. Can you imagine his dad has another son? You know, he's on his deathbed. He's just like, I got another son. His name's Billy Gates. Oh, what? I have another son. Oh, he's older than both of you. His mom's name's Clinton. I named him Bill. Oh, what? Just named all of them Bill. I wouldn't be surprised. Might have 12 kids. With my dad, we don't even know. There's an older one, there's a younger one, and there might be some in between that we have no idea. No clue. His name was George, if you're out there. His name was George, looked a lot like me. Maybe. He went from UK, Canada, America, so it could be anywhere in those places, you know. In the West. Wild West, you know. It's a wild situation, man, but I actually do hope that they actually
what was your
become connected. You should. You know, even if you've never known each other as siblings, you should connect. Why not? Have that connection, talk. You know, I know for Bill, you can tell Bill got very serious about the whole thing in regards to his dad and what he thought of him and how it drudges all that up where it's like, this guy was lying to my mom. He was doing this and that. You know, it does bring that up, but still, like my dad, I got a brother and a sister. Are they close in age? I think they're close in age. They might be like a year apart. I always laugh when I think about that. It's hilarious. But, you know, that's life, man. As you get older, you start realizing, like, wow, you know, my dad was just a guy. He's just a guy, you know? You know, like, I'm almost 40 now. I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. This gets stressful at times. This gets very stressful, you know? I'm a husband, father. I'm dedicated and everything. He wasn't, you know, but that inspired me to be more dedicated and actually be there. But I get it. I get it, you know? I got baby spit up on me here. Baby threw up all over me yesterday. I get it. It gets hard to deal with. You just want to travel. You just want to travel the nation, just doing what you want to do. It's very, very interesting stuff. But at the end of the day, I hope they do connect. I hope Joe Rogan works his magic and just kind of gets them to do that test. Although, again, there's no test needed. There's no test needed. These guys are clearly brothers. They look more like brothers than me and my brothers look like brothers. Okay? Just solidly. And even the way they were both talking, they had the same odd cadence, acting the same when they got uncomfortable, gripping the chair the same when they both got uncomfortable. Both love wrestling. One owns a wrestling company. You know, the only thing that was really weird is when Billy Corgan, hope I'm saying his name right, he said his dad didn't want to tell him to protect him. I wonder what that meant. Maybe it's because they don't want to connect, because that could be the hurting thing. If you do have a sibling out there and they don't want anything to do with you, you know, that becomes a very hurtful thing. And then also his dad didn't write down all the names, and maybe he did that because he didn't want 10 people to come together and talk about how terrible their dad was all together, you know? That's a thing that you don't want as you pass away, I'm sure. So, and, you know, just to sum it up, Howie definitely lied. He lied to both of them to make this happen. And shout out to Howie Mandel. This might have been the funniest thing he has ever done. Anyways, guys, I just wanted to bring you this. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think that these two are related? I think they are 100% related.